Now, implementation of Nigeria's new tax reforms officially commenced on Thursday, January 1st, 2026, following the federal government's insistence on the January takeoff date. Amid widespread public debate and concerns, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Mr. Jaiyeola, has assured Nigerians that the new tax laws will not lead to automatic debits from bank accounts, regardless of transaction amounts or transfer descriptions. However, questions remain like who is taxable and who is exempt? Well, on Business Express today, we will examine the new tax regime, separating facts from rumors and helping Nigerians understand what has truly changed. Now, joining us is Jaiyeola Adebola, a chartered accountant and tax expert. It's a pleasure to have you on the program and welcome to a new year.
Happy New Year. The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.
Great. The federal government insists that these tax reforms are not designed to inflict economic hardship on Nigerians. From your professional standpoint, as a chartered accountant and as a tax expert, how do you assess the intent and structure of the new tax regime?
Thank you very much. Just like the federal government has said, the new tax regime is not designed to put any kind of financial pressure on anyone, especially the low-income earners. Instead, it has come to reduce the pressure that is on the populace. The tax regime right now has reduced the tax burden on the populace, on the low-income earners, and so has increased the amount of money that the low-income earners now has to spend. So it is not supposed to be a burden on them. It is not a burden on them, but instead it has come to give some succor to the low-income earners.
Good. For clarity's sake, who exactly is taxable under the new tax laws and who is exempt? We want you to break it down for us, both for the individuals, salary earners, and small business owners.
Okay, thank you. For individuals, anyone earning the minimum wage or lower than the minimum wage, in fact, anyone earning up to 1.2 million per annum is invariably exempted from tax. And the reason for that is, if you're earning 1.2 million per annum, that's like 10,000 naira per month. Then by the time you deduct the NHF, that is National Housing Fund, by the time you deduct the NHIS, National Health Insurance Scheme, and then you deduct, then there is also a relief, rent relief for up to 500,000 naira.
Sorry, when you said 10,000, did you mean 100,000 naira?
Sorry, 100,000 naira, thank
Okay.
you. 100,000 naira per month, thank you. So 100,000 naira per month. So by the time you remove all those things, then what is going to be left for the person earning 1.2 million per annum is going to be like 800,000. And that 800,000 now is exempted from tax. So which means anyone earning 100,000 naira per month or less is invariably exempted from tax. Then for corporate organizations, any company that is a small business, and when you talk about small business, you're talking about those companies that are earning 100 million, below 100 million naira per annum, and have assets that is lower than 250 million naira, fixed assets, all those businesses are exempted from tax in this new tax regime.
Okay. Now, there are growing concerns or fears that every inflow into a person's bank account will now attract tax. Is this true, or is it a misconception? And what do the provisions of the law actually say about bank transfers?
That is a very big misconception. there is no government that is going to go into any individual's bank account to deduct money or to take money from the person's account. So whatever money is coming into your account, it is not, they're not going to charge tax on it. The only thing is, for you that you are earning income as an individual, you are the one that will let the government know that this is your income per annum. And it is not all the income, like I said before, it's not all the income that is going to be taxed. It depends on how much income you're collecting. So whatever money is coming into your account, they're not going to go in there and start charging tax on it. So that is a misconception.
Okay, there is a message currently trending on social media, which advises Nigerians to label transfers as gift, family support, or sharing to avoid being taxed. How accurate is this advice, and should Nigerians be worried about such transfers?
Just like I said, no one is going to go into your bank account to start deducting money in the name of tax. So whether you label the transfers that is going into your account, or you are transferring to someone, whether you label it or you do not label it, it is not going to be taxed. The only thing, like I said, is if you are earning an income, whether it is taxable, that is, whether it is within the 100,000 per month limit or lower, you still need to declare to the government that you are earning an income and this is what your income is, so that they know that yes, you are earning an income, but it is exempted from tax. And if you are earning more than 100 million, you still need to declare that this is what you are earning, so that they can charge the normal tax. And it's not on the whole. For example, if you are earning 120,000 per month, definitely we're looking at probably the 20,000 being taxed, because the 100,000 is already exempted. So the 20,000 is what is now going to be taxed. And even that 20,000, it's going to depend on your rent, the rent that you pay per annum or per month, for you to enjoy the rent relief, because there's still, apart from the exemptions on the 800,000 naira, you still have a rent relief. And that rent relief is up to 500,000 per annum, as long as you can show evidence of how much you actually pay as your rent per month or per annum.
So how do we explain this to the government? Do we have to go to the office of the Nigerian Revenue Service to make this explanation? How do you explain this to the government?
For employees, normally the employer is the one that should work out their staff's tax. So they should have someone who interfaces with the tax authority to be able to put together the rent of their staff per annum, so that can be worked out to see how much exactly the staff is paying for rent. But for any staff that is residing in their own apartment, that has their own, who is not paying rent, then they are not eligible to that rent relief. It's only for those who are paying rent. And you have to be, whoever is interfacing with the government or with the tax authority on your behalf is the one that will present the evidence on your behalf.
All right, with the Nigerian Revenue Service now live and technology expected to play a major role, we hear that data will be used to determine who is poor, who is worthy, and who should pay tax and who is exempt. How will this work in practice, and what safeguards exist to protect citizens?
Nobody is going to look at how much data you buy or how much data you have for them to charge you tax. Like I said, your tax is charged on whatever income comes to you. Whether you buy data or you don't buy data, as long as you earn an income and the income is below 100,000, you are not paying tax. You are not taxable. You are exempted. If your income is above 100,000, then we look at other things that are exempted, because like I said, your NHIS is going to be taken out, your NHF is going to be taken out, if you're on if you have a life insurance policy, the premium you're paying is taken out, and a whole lot of things like that. So by the time they remove all of that, whatever is left is what they will now start charging tax on. And it is not a one-off percentage, it's graded. So depending on how much, the first 1.2, that is apart from the 800,000 and every other thing that has been taken out, the first 1.2 million is charged at 15% and so on and so forth.
Another major concern by many Nigerians is the transfer of tax burden to consumers through higher prices of goods and services. Under this new tax regime, how likely is this, and what measures, if any, exist to prevent excessive pressures on consumers?
This new tax law, in fact, is supposed to even reduce the burden on consumers, because a lot of important elements that's been taken out of the VAT. A lot of things are now VAT exempt. For educational materials, it's exempted from VAT. Your basic foodstuff, your basic food is also exempted from tax. Your health products, they are all exempted from from VAT. So, which means the basic things, even rent is no longer VATable. So, which means the basic amenities that the poor or the low-income earners, the basic things that they need, they are no longer VATable. So that means there is no transferring of any tax burden to the consumers, since they are not even charging the tax on those products. So what are they transferring? There is no issue of transferring burden to the consumers.
All right. On a final note, what practical advice would you give to Nigerians on how to stay compliant, informed, and protected under the new tax regime?
My candid advice to Nigerians generally, it has been said that if you want to hide something from Africans, put it in a book or put it in writing. I wouldn't want that to be our situation in Nigeria. I want to believe that we are more enlightened in this part of the world than what has been said about us. So I would encourage Nigerians to desist from accepting everything that the social media is putting out there. Take out time to read the tax laws, read exactly what it is, try to understand it. There has been a lot of propaganda going on. They should leave the propaganda and see what the reality is and understand it. If they don't understand, they have people around them that are experts that could help them understand these things. And of course, just like you're doing here on NTA, there are different campaigns going on to help people understand exactly what this new tax regime is talking about. They should take advantage of such medium or such media for them to understand exactly what it is talking about and stop spreading rumors all over the place.
Right. Ms. Jaiyeola Adebola, thank you very much for your time on Business Express today. We hope that Nigerians' new tax regime will raise revenue for the country while making compliance easier for the citizens. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much.
Moving on, Nigeria's